welcome to Myers Reserve for this GDFL match of the day between Bellpost Hill and North Geelong. It's the Panthers and the Magpies in a crucial game for both sides. The Panthers last week had a 4-point close win over Eastern Suburbs at Myers Reserve, while the Magpies went down in a close one to Anarchy. So it's should be a fantastic tussle. Now Rock and Ronnie's off again this week. He's traipsing around the countryside somewhere, so filling in for him. And he doesn't fill in the same sort of seat space, but he's also browsing as one of the selectors for the Interleague side as well in the GDFL this season. And it's Gus Primer. How are you, Gus?
Good afternoon, Jason and listeners. I'm very well, thank you.
Yes, don't forget we're on 94.9 Guest FM around the ground today, narrowcast around the ground, so I hope you will enjoy our call this afternoon, and it should be a pretty good game. Gus, you said before that you've only heard or seen 10 minutes of Bellpost Hill this year, but I've seen North Geelong a couple of times, and it should be a fairly close tussle. Yeah,
well, both sides are going to be pretty even in size and height, and I've seen 10 minutes of Bellpost Hill against West, and they won pretty convincingly. I've seen North Geelong a couple of times, half a game last week against Anarchy, and I think the wet weather might have disheartened them a little bit last week. They were 7 goals up, and Anarchy come home and beat them. So, but the big ground will suit both sides, I think, and it should be a very entertaining game.
Well, we're just seeing both sides and the umpires line up for a minute's silence in memory of Mark West, who was unfortunately killed last week on the field at Newtown against St Mary's, and funeral during the week. So it's been a fairly tumultuous week for football supporters in the West Coast region. So both sides and the umpires just showing their respect for Mark West. Well, a fitting tribute to Mark West, who unfortunately, as I said, passed away last week. Gus, it's been a fairly tragic week this week.
Yes, it's not a good thing to happen in local footy, Jason. And you know, you look at the people that paid respect to him. I mean, a lot of times when older people pass away, people say they're a good person and all that sort of thing. But if you have a look at across the board with Mark, everyone that spoke about him was very highly. He's a very respected young fella.
Yep. So I'm sure he'll be sadly missed by everybody around Geelong. But back to the footy, Bellpost Hill and North Geelong. Brett Pollard and Daryl Jones have tossed, and North Geelong will be going to the left of screen for guest video watchers. That's the northern end of Myers Reserve in this first term. And some interesting players to look for. And Brad Martin is one of them. Gus has picked up that he's wearing number 29, back from Werribee to play with Bellpost Hill. And a good junior player in his days at Bellpost Hill, went to Werribee in the VFA, now the VFL, and is back here though playing with the Hills, so will be an important part of their game plan. Some other players at Bellpost Hill to look for today: their coaches, Brett Pollard, who'll be wearing number 5, Gary Fairchild will be wearing number 14, and Simon Connolly, an ex-Bellpost Hill boy, then went to Bell Park back at the Hill, wearing number 20, and has been playing in a bit of a tagging role here too, up here for the Panthers. The North Geelong boys were full of young players, and there's got, Jamie Hutchinson, I think, may be playing, or he might have played in the twos. I couldn't quite see him in the twos. Daniel Gibbs and Brett Lewis, Corey Lockwood, Rory Nicol, Adam Walsh. You go through them, the list goes on. They've got a lot of youngsters out there, and it's a building process for the Magpies.
Matty Poulter as well there.
Yeah, Matty Poulter, yep. So a lot of young boys, and we'll see how they go this afternoon. Both sides not overly tall, Gus.
No, I see Jamie Hudson is playing out there.
Yep.
He's on the forward line there. Looks like he's walking out to a flank. But no, they're not overly tall, and obviously big ground, and be interesting to see if it does rain how they finish up.
Who said it's going to rain? It's a perfect day for footy. And actually, I think this is the first time we've come here in a while, Brett, our technical director, when it hasn't been blowing a gale at Myers Reserve. It's not too bad. It's probably going to the northern end in this first term. A couple of goals advantage, I would think. It just went out at three-quarter time in the reserves to have a bit of a check of the wind. So maybe a couple of goals advantage to North Geelong in the first term.
Funny that you say about the wind there, Jason. I actually coached up here for 1 year, and we always knew it before that as Windy Hill. And it only blew for one game that we were up here for the whole year. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was Christmas.
One of your 7 clubs, Gus, as we start the bounce of the ball for round 5. GDFL footy, Ray Robertson and Dalziel go up. It comes out towards Troy Feldman, who runs away just inside the centre square, goes towards his brother Brett, can't get it to him. Coming out at pace was Hanusen, goes back towards Robertson in the middle of the ground. Fairchild pushing across here as well. It's 2 against 1, Naylor, and also Marnie coming. Fairchild stands his ground, got support from Sveljak. Little Tommy gets the short kick away. It's okay. Cameron Carr, handball back to Fairchild, going to be under a bit of pressure. Gets around a couple of those stands, gets it over, Potter, gets a hand to it, then can't take the footy with him. Sean Lewis can't either. Then he goes back and gets it. Handball back to Fairchild.
He's done a hamstring, I think.
Gets it in one hand, done a hammy, has he? Gus says it's out of bounds on the full, will be a free kick. Out of bounds on the full, right in front of the commentary box. And this looks a little bit behind a free kick. North Geelong to free kick. The umpire 50, and Tommy's turned around and asked the umpire what for, and umpire Allenson has just set Pollard on the mark, and Mark Burns will take it now at half forward instead of the wing. Goes short towards Lockwood and Marnie. Take mark.
Another one of the young fellas. I think 20s.
Too. Good. Started this very well.
We forgot to mention a couple of older blokes here. Those couple of games, and Paul Jones has performed very well. Second half last week against Andy was very...
Oh, good kick, Stuart Marnie. Has it got the carry? No, it hasn't. And pushed through for 1 behind to North Geelong. So the opening score. And they lead by that. With just a couple of minutes gone in this first term. That's round 5 for the GDFL this afternoon. Other matches, Thompson and Geelong West, Annicky and Corio, Werribee Centrals and Eastern Suburbs, and the Belmont Lions and Bannockburn. Plus this match of the day between Belpost Hill and North Geelong. Matthew Lewis to do the kicking in from full-back for the Panthers. Gets a short lead from Habe, goes in that direction. Oh, it's going to have to be a good kick, and it wasn't. Over the top was Daniel Gibbs. Lewis has to butter up himself and does so on the left boot. Goes towards half-back. It's all right. He's got support play on now. Goes towards the middle of... Myers reserved towards Lewis. Does he get a free kick? Yes, he does for a high tackle. Sean Lewis, that is.
Welcome Key picking up Brett Feldman there, centre half back.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting tussle. The experience of Key there against Feldman, who started the season fairly well. Sean Lewis with the footy again, being told to kick over the mark, and the umpire has called time on. Goes wide, and it's a good kick. Play on quickly, and the Panthers going towards half forward, looking for Feldman. Key in front though. Hurst comes out at pace, can't take it with him. Feldman stands his ground, then picks the ball up, goes long towards goal, and it's just missed to the near side for 1 behind. So the first score on the board for for Belpost Hill from Brett Feldman. So it's 1 behind a piece. Gibbs to kick in. Taps it up to himself, takes a bounce, runs 15 metres, gets around Batty, directs it towards centre half back, sits up. Lockwood, handball to Naylor running past. He delivers the ball towards Marnie and Lewis. It's a foot race now on centre wing. Lewis gets a little kick away, has to go with his brother Matthew. Will Shepherd for him, but doesn't have to worry because it is out of bounds and will be a boundary throw in.
The full back there kicking out to David Gibbs. He's a former Belpost Hill player, Jason.
So he should know the ground fairly well.
Should know the ground.
Should know where to kick to.
Should know how to play it.
It's a boundary throw in. Naylor to do the ruck work. Oh, it's the flattest throw in you've seen in a while. Goes towards Naylor and Dalziel. Lockwood rides a bump. Got support from Marnie. Comes back to Burns. Underneath handball to Lockwood. Stands in the tackle, then loses the footy. Marnie back to Lockwood. Short little exchange of handballs to Burns was okay. Goes towards half forward. Matty Lewis backs himself but doesn't get away from Gibbs. Loses the footy. Polder Shepherds for Burns, who gets the handball away to Naylor. Can't pick it up, so scoops it only as far as Cameron Carr. Short little kick back towards Naylor. Stands tall, takes the mark. Jimmy Naylor in front of ball.
Done well there. He was under a bit of pressure there, Jason.
Yeah. So Naylor turns around. Robertson gives him the lead. Can't get to him on the. Gets to him on the bounce. He can't pick it up. Jones is with him in support. Left foot kick around the corner. Back towards Nickel in front. Can't take it. Robertson tries to break that ball. Gets rid of the ball by hand, but it's held in, says the umpire, and he will throw it up. About 30 metres out from the North Geelong goal. He throws it up now. Robertson to the back of the pack. Pollard on hands and knees. Slick little handball towards ball. He can't pick it up. He's surrounded by Magpies, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball once again. This time about 50 metres out. Dalziel, Woodson gets his right hand to it. Jones comes in, can't take it with him. Matthew Lewis tries to get it out. He's surrounded by Magpies now. The umpire lets it go. Big pack around. There was an indiscriminate kick there. Free kick will be picked out. Going to go to Bell Post Hill. And it's going to be Pollard.
I didn't see where that come from.
Switches play nicely towards Troy Feldman. He gets it on the outer side half-back flank. Can run on now and kick it over the top and does okay. And taking that mark is number 26. And it's Adam Martin.
It is Adam Martin. He's not listed in the book there.
Well, he's listed as 29, so Brad's wearing 29, Adam's wearing 26. Good mark by Naylor at half-back. Defensive 50 on the outer side for the Magpies. Oh, poor kick though. Was looking for Ballo, couldn't find him. Over the head of a couple of players. Falls on the outer side to Lewis now. Goes towards half forward. Running off Walsh. And if it sits for him, he might be in here. It didn't know. And now he's pushed back. He's on half forward. Leg though. Free kick. Going to go to North Geelong. And it's going to be Walsh. Goes short towards Stuart Marnie, covering a lot of territory in the opening minutes of this clash. He's on half forward, onto that raking left boot, goes long, Nickel from behind, goes with the jump over the back. Hutchinson can't get it before it runs through for another behind.
Be interesting to see if these young blokes can stand up the run for the whole day. Jason, a lot of ground to cover here, a bit of deceptive the ground.
Well, Lewis, he plays on, that's Matthew from fullback, takes a couple of bounces, goes wide towards Connolly, and also Tajani, who's back in the side for North Geelong. It's out of bounce. And will be a boundary throw in at half forward for the Magpies. So Dalziel and Naylor to do the ruck work. Naylor in front, gets it over the back towards Dejani, pushed on by Martin. Too high, says umpire Allenson, and will be a free kick to Dave Dejani against Brad Martin, in between wing and half forward. Short lead by Naylor. Goes further afield though. Nickel comes out, but filling the hole and taking a good mark is Stuart Marnie. At centre half forward for the Magpies. 5.5 minutes gone in this first term. Marnie now. Left foot kick with the breeze. Close to it. I think it might have got through too. Good kick, Stuart Marnie. And a goal.
I was just going to mention, Jason, for the distance he kicked before when he had a shot at goal, he was always a big chance to make that. He was more squared up with a bruise behind him.
So North Geelong put the first major on the board. And it goes to Stuart Marnie. They're 1-8 and they lead Bell Post Hill. One behind on the LBW Chartered Accountants first quarter scoreboard here at Myers Reserve. It's GDFL Match of the Day, round 5, and the midfield working fairly well at the moment, Gus.
Yeah, they're pushing through. They got they're a bit stiff on the free kick there, Bell Post. Still thought Brad Martin attacked the ball. He was a bit stiff to get the high free kick, which pushed the ball in there for Stewie Marnie to take the mark. So, but no, they're running pretty well down. Bell Post still having a bit of trouble getting past the centre wing half forward. Keeps getting repelled back. So,
Dalziel up uncontested in the ruck. Robertson's in there now. His opposite number on hands and knees. Slick handball to Burns. Kick just straight towards ball. He stands his ground, takes the mark in the centre of Myers Reserve to push the Panthers into attack. He handballs quickly to Pollard. He goes with his left boot long towards half forward. Oh, good mark too. And that's from Casina. Outside 50. Oh, just puts it up though. Floated towards Feldman. He's got a couple of Magpies against him. Coming from the back was Batty. The big man picked it up well. A little right foot kick to Feldman. Doesn't go that far. The Magpies under pressure in defence. The umpire will come in and ball it up. 40 metres out from the Panther goal.
Bit better build up there by Bell Post still. Push the ball forward. Probably went a bit wide there going into the square, towards the goal square there. Pushed out to the pocket.
It's a big pack around the bounce. Naylor stands in the tackle. Gibbs puts the right foot to it. It's pretty wide though. Has it bounced out? No, it hasn't. Just inside the line, so it will be a boundary throw in on half forward on the outer side for Belpost Hill. Taking the southern end. They trail 1-2-8 North Geelong. Belpost Hill just the behind to Brett Feldman. Dalziel to do the ruck work against Naylor. Looks as though Robertson's doing the ruck work in the centre bounce, and then Naylor's running around Robertson at centre half forward. Gus?
It looks like what's happening. Naylor played centre half back last week, and Robertson played in the ruck for the second half there, what I see.
So he's been giving a bit of a run on the ball today early by Arthur Hodgson. The ball now wide for North Geelong. And Lewis has taken it on true centre wing on the outer side. Will kick quickly towards centre half forward and Robertson. He's got a couple against him behind Martin. Good punch away. Lewis. That's Sean. Bit of support from brother Matthew. Can't get the footy to him though. Held on to. Free kick. The Panther will be able to clear from half back. Sean Lewis.
He played that pretty well.
He did. And switches play towards this side wing towards Troy Feldman. He takes them up. Handball quickly. We're going to put Cameron Carr under a bit of pressure because Key came on. Oh, but then he gave away a free kick. Knew it too, I think. Just left the footy there.
He was a bit stiff though, I think. Wasn't much in it.
But Cameron Carr's got it. Left foot kick around the corner towards Feldman. Burns against him. Close to the boundary line. Feldman can't keep it in. Needs a bit better delivery than that, I would think. A kick there from Cameron Carr. And it's going to be a boundary throw in right in front of the commentary box here. Dalziel over the back. Gets a hand to it. Naylor wrapped up. Got support to Jani. Can he get the handball away? Yes, he can to Key. Onto the left foot. Measures the pass towards Robertson. Good kick. Good mark. Good kick. Handballs quickly to Jones. Can shepherd for him now. And Jones from half forward goes in. Good kick. Delivers it beautifully to Rory Nicol, who
It's
takes
an
the mark.
interesting move. Rory Nicol down there at full forward. Played on half back 2 weeks ago, and I think he got best or second best player for North Geelong. And he had a bit of a run down the forward line and the back line last week.
So he's at full forward.
Lovely kick by Daryl Jones.
I was talking to Tassie during the week. He said they have struggled up there, so he might provide the answer. Nicol comes in now from 40 metres out. And that Belpost Hill Breeze, I think, has just moved it to the near side for one behind. So...
yeah, well, he's got a good pair of hands on him. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", and obviously he led well there. But
it helps when the delivery's like that too.
I was going to say you can't do much about the delivery when it's like that if you're in the back line.
Yep. Sydney, Daryl Jones, great kick to the lead of Rory Nicol, but only one behind.
Got the huddle going here.
Yeah.
Belpost still.
And they break, and Lewis comes towards Simon Connolly and Jones. Connolly in front, good punch away by Jones. Good discipline. Lockwood now. Got a bit of pace on him too, the young kid. Short little kick. He's all right. Was it a mark? Yes, it was. And Rory Nicholas taking it. Close to the boundary line.
Good work there by Sid Jones again. He was in front, and then all of a sudden he was put behind by Connolly, Simon Connolly, and so he went, as you called it, Jason, good discipline and punched the ball rather than trying to mark.
Nicol plays on quickly, but the umpire hadn't called time on, so it'll come back.
He was a bit stiff there because I think it went straight.
I was going to say, Rory wasn't looking too happy, the umpire, because went through the middle. But Daryl Jones just going over there and having a bit of a chat to him. And Sid's played a few games here, so he probably knows about the wind and the pockets and things like that, so he might have just told him what to do. He's played on now, same thing, kicked it, and kicked a goal. Good kick, Rory Nicol.
That's a pretty good effort. I can do that 2 in a row.
We thought he might have used up all of it in the first kick.
After being so dejected after the first one went through, and the umpire sort of told him he hadn't called.
But the same kick, and obviously maybe Daryl went over there and told him, do the same thing. You probably did it right the first time, but his first goal and North Geelong second. They're 2-3-15. They lead Belpost Hill 1 behind on the LBW Taylor Accountants first quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, well, they're starting to settle down the other sides, and they're starting to get the ball moving a bit more. So I think that wind's probably a bit harder to kick into than we probably think. But the trees aren't seem to be blowing too hard over there, so...
No, well, a couple of goals. We'll see how they go. Dalziel, Robertson go up. Robertson got half a tap. Back to Burns. Back to Gibbs. Finishes a pass towards half forward and his brother, Daniel, and takes a mark under pressure from Matthew Lewis. Another one of the youngsters in this Magpies side.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of coaching him in junior in the league. He's going to be a good senior footballer in the years to come.
Good mark at the back of the pack by Hancock, or poor kick though. Naylor, handball, okay. Lockwood gets around Martin, handball back to Jones. Services, old man of North Geelong runs in, he won't miss those. Sydney kicks his first.
Brought around by a poor kick there, changing the cross half back through the corridor with plenty of numbers. It's just coach's nightmare when blokes do that. And obviously it's been turned over and fed back and put through the goal.
Well, great start by North Geelong there, 3-3-21. Bell Post 2-1 behind. 20 points of difference on the LBW Chartered Accountants first quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 11 and a half minutes. And the young and the old there, Corey Lockwood and Daryl Jones.
How old is Corey?
18.
18.
Yep. And had last year off. And he's come back to play first rover in this side this year. So it's a good comeback. He's been in good form.
Mark Burns there, he's been doing some good work around the packs and in the centre. Just little things, but they're all pushing the ball forward for his side. He's sort of he's not real conspicuous, but he gets the job done.
He doesn't look the most fashionable footballer, does he? But he does little things that count.
Yep.
And it doesn't get noticed a lot. The umpire throws the ball up again. Dalziel and Robertson. Robertson down over the head of Hutchinson coming through. Good play to Jani. Rides the bump, gives it to Lockwood. Handball to Shuey Marnie. He's on his left foot, so he'll be able to drive it long. He does so. Puts it up towards full forward. Polder takes the mark. Good mark too. Had his eyes on the ball. And too good mark. Changing on the ball by the looks of it.
Geez, he just looks so big coming from behind the pack. Almost thought he was a ruckman or them young Habe there, I think it is. But see Gary Fairchild 6'1", and he's come over the back of them guys, and he just made it look so easy. I suppose Matty's 6 foot.
Yep.
Pretty well put together.
So he'll come in from 20 metres out directly in front. He's gone back on the big run up. Very deliberate in his kick now. For North Geelong's fourth, he comes in, puts it, or I think he might have missed. And has missed to the near side. So 3-4-22 North Geelong. Bell Post still 1 behind. LBW Chartered Accountants first quarter scoreboard. And
you got to put them one through.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
25 and out.
Probably a little bit disappointed with himself, I would think, after taking a good mark. Now
took plenty of run up.
Yeah, the Panthers are playing the huddle.
Actually, North are playing this pretty well. North are playing this huddle pretty well. You stand outside them.
And just follow them?
Just let them run towards you, and they've got to kick the ball into the hole, or otherwise the turnover happens.
Well, Matty Lewis plays on, gets around. Rory Nicol at fullback, taps the ball on the ground a couple of times, kicks long and wide towards Hurst and Burns. Hurst can't take the mark. He's got support, though, from Ball. Gets a short little kick around. Burns can handball. Oh, good play to Dejani, but then he left the footy behind. He was wrapped up. Walsh ripped off the footy free kick. And I don't think Mark Walsh thought he had the free there, but got it in the end. No, he has to come around. And behind his mark. Oh, then a poor kick towards Jones. Darrell's got a couple against him. One of them was Spelljack. And a free kick to Darrell Jones. At half forward. Him and Tommy, not the best of friends by the looks of it.
Tommy's been in good form over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Good mark, Robertson. At centre half forward, he has actually. Spelljack, been in Bell Post Hill's better players. Robertson short to Burns. He plays on quickly. Short little kick. Saw Lockwood in the pocket. Gets around on the right foot after dodging left. Oh, kicks a goal.
You're not going to see... I thought it was a goal. The way the umpire was standing, I was going to say you're not going to see many better goals than that.
That was pretty good play in the pocket. Running out of room.
It was a good goal 5 minutes ago, but that was going to take the cake.
It was good running, Corey Lockwood in the pocket. So Lewis to do the kicking again. He'll have a sore foot after this. It's 3-5 to 1 behind. North Geelong have been doing all the attacking in the opening term. He goes to Carr, who goes wider towards Pollard. Takes the mark, plays on quickly, runs away from his opponent. Goes towards half forward to Spelljack on knees, takes the mark. Switches play back inboard towards Ball, plays on quickly, bit of time. Kick toward Felbin, who got away from Key. That's Brett. He wants to get around on his right. Oh, short little kick. Key was right next to him, and he ended up running it out. The boundary umpire just getting on the shuttle bus to get towards the ball.
I think, what was he trying to play to himself there? He's across the other side of the ground. Yeah, just get himself a bit of room and past Mel Key there.
Key was a bit too experienced for that, I think. I think he's seen that before.
Yep.
So a boundary throw, Naylor in front, behind Connolly. Little tap is all right. Handball from Ball to Felbin. Brett, he's usually pretty good in this situation. On this occasion, though, has missed to the near side and 1 behind. So
he's got away from Geezy a couple of times there. just sort of broke away.
He's been in pretty good form too, I think, Gus.
Yeah.
Started the season pretty well.
Yep.
The Bell Post still 2 behinds. North Geelong 3-5-23 in this opening term. GDFL match of the day, round 5. Gibbs plays onto himself again, goes towards centre half back. Burns up against a couple, including Pollard from Bell Post Hill. Gets it. A little tap to Feldman. That's Brett. Goes to ball. Left foot kick, measures the pass towards Connolly. And just a bit of strength there from Simon in front. Takes the mark.
I was just going to say, just before the kick out, that Simon Connolly's been statless to this stage. And I noticed the bloke on his mark's limping. He was just injured there a minute ago, so maybe that had something to do with Simon getting the base, but it was still a strong mark.
Jani, that is. Connolly on the left boot. Kicks it into the wind, and he's missed it to the far side for 1 behind. So they're 3 behinds, Bell Post Hill. North Geelong 3-5-23. It's back to 20 points of difference on the LBW Charter Accounts first quarter scoreboard. And Gibbs will do the kicking once again. He's played on a couple of times to get around Batty. On this occasion, he does kick out. Goes long, good kick too. Penetrating kick, but to nobody in particular. And Brett Pollard says, thanks very much. Takes an uncontested mark. He's now in the centre of the ground where he takes it. So it was a fair kick. He gets it to Martin.
Jonesy sneaked a few steps on the mark.
Brad Martin goes long towards Batty, comes out. Contests, can't take the mark. Marty now. Onto that favoured left goes only as far as Ball and Pollard. Ball's got it. And a bit of time to set something up now. Goes back inboard towards centre half forward. Batty can stand, take the mark, gets a push, no free kick. Martin, kick off the ground by Key. Goes towards Naylor and also Tajani, running through Dalziel. Falls in the hands of Bud. Slick handball to Connolly. Poor left foot kick, but it might be okay. And it is. Kazina back to Troy Feldman running off the centre wing. Goes inboard towards Veljak. Tommy takes the mark in the kamikaze roll. Takes it. Connolly coming off. For Bell Post Hill. Mileto coming on. And the kick will be with Tommy's Feljak.
Seems though he's carrying a bit of weight, Tommy, but he still gets to the ball. He's been in front a couple of times over there by 2 or 3 metres.
Reads it well, and we'll get a game next week because he's hit the coach on the chest. Brett Pollard's taken the mark, about 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. Chance to put the Panthers' first goal on the board. And another one who has started pretty well this season too, as you would expect. Bell Park last year played pretty well in the GFL league side. Come back to Bell Post Hill, but has missed on this occasion the goal. And 1 behind.
He's definitely got the credentials to be to play well, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but he can't kick a goal on that occasion. 4 behinds, Bell Post Hill. North Geelong 3-5-23. Gibbs on this occasion kicks in short to Stewie Marnie in the right back pocket. Goes long with the left boot towards centre half back. Burns can't make the mark overhead, but gets a push and a free kick. Gets Mileto on the point of the centre square at half back for the Magpies. Got Hutchinson wide, sees him, and he takes the mark and plays on now. Was going to go on left, then goes on the right, measures the pass towards Jones. He takes the mark on true centre wing, plays on quickly, goes towards Lewis at centre half forward. Got Jones running past, but next to go back and have a kick. Got a number of leads. Nickel gives him a lead now from full forward, but he goes further towards Robin and Gibbs. Robertson in front, over the back attack, Hutchinson, and also Walsh gets wrapped up. Pushed through, is it? Yes, it is, for a rush behind to North Geelong.
So bit of run there by North Geelong. You notice Sid Jones handled the ball up here and he still went down further, pushed down for another 40-50 yards. Young Jamie Hudson had a kick up the wing here as well, and he ended up in the goal square. Bit of running there.
So Lewis kicks in from fullback for Bell Post Hill. Goes to ball. Oh, poor kick. Jones in front of Martin then. Takes the mark at half forward. Jones now. Nickel gives him a lead. He goes in that direction. He has to sit and wait and take it. He can't take the mark. Little kick off the ground. Was okay in the end by Hancock. Goes to Jones though into Polder. Left foot kick. He might have just missed it. Has he? Yeah, it's come off hands. And 1 behind again. So it's 3-7-25 North Geelong. Bell Post still 4 behinds. Matty Lewis will be getting to know how to kick in, I think.
The goal umpires will keep him warm anyway. The singles legs, yeah.
So Matty Lewis to kick in from fullback once again.
It's like they changed their strategy now.
Yeah. Not playing the huddle anymore. Straight down the middle towards Martin. And Robertson in there as well. Polder tried to get it out. It's held up at centre half forward for the Magpies. You just sense that they need to kick a couple North Geelong here because they've had all the play, but they've only got 3 goals. Missed a couple of easy ones.
Yeah, well, Bell Post Hill have probably only had 4 or 5 minutes of the quarter. as far as controlling the ball. North Geelong have had the rest, and you're probably a pretty good call, Jason, that they get 2 or 3 more on the board if they're going to be looking half all right at quarter time.
Well, they've got a chance now. Lewis kicked it a lot long, but Cameron Carr back. Oh, Cameron Carr back there. Poulter kicked it away. Got to be a little bit careful.
Got away with it that time.
Got away with it. Could have easily been 50. But it comes back to Cameron Carr in between the back pocket and half-back flank. Grandstand side comes long towards the wing. Hurst and Walsh. Poulter running back with a flight of the footy. Can't take the mark. Lewis off hands. Roves. Goes towards half-forward. Vacant half-forward position. 2-foot race. Key and Brett Felbin. Felbin pushed Key past the ball and then got it himself. Directs traffic back towards Sveljak. Good kick. He's got Batty in the square. And Gibbs running back. He goes now, Tommy, but kicks it intelligently across towards Kazina. He takes the mark. He kicks it over the top towards Pollard and one-handedly takes the mark. And will kick from the same position as the last kick.
Interesting observation there, Jason. I just been keeping my eye on a few of these blokes. Pollard just had a last shot at goal there for Belpost Hill and kicked a point. Ball coming back down. Sid Jones ran through the centre. Ollie manned him up and then just let him run straight into the forward line, give him 5 or 6 metres through half forward. And I just noticed when the ball's moved forward, Polly's run flat out. He's got it again. So interesting to see how those two end up.
Well, he's missed that once again. So 5 behinds now, Belpost Hill. 3-7-25 North Geelong. Gibbs kicks in. Good kick to Naylor. Stands tall, takes the mark at half-back. Jimmy plays on quickly. Good intelligent play. Kicks towards the middle of the ground, Robertson, and also Lockwood coming at it. Lockwood slips over at the crucial stage there. And on hands and knees, Martin got legged. Will take a free kick, and that's Adam. Back from Queenscliff this year after a year in the Bellarine. Goes wide towards Matty Lewis. It's going to sit up. Is it? Yes, it does for him. Or can he get around? He drops the footy. And then handballs over the top. And it's a poor handball in the end, so he's got to go back and help himself out. And then he dropped the footy, has he? Yes, he has. North Geelong with the free. Play on quickly. Poulter gets the kick away. Hancock in front of Nickel on that occasion. Follows the ball up out towards the half-back flank. Cameron Carr in support as well. Over the top. Free kick, was it? No, held in. And will be a ball up. Close to the boundary line, around about 50 metres out from the North Geelong goal. Done the majority of attacking in this first term. Robertson stands, plucks it out of the ruck contest, goes high towards Naylor. Can't take the mark, falls towards Marnie on his right boot. And I think he might have missed to the far side. He has. So 1 behind to
13 points for the quarter, is it?
Stewie Marnie. It is. It's 3-8-26 North Geelong. Belpost Hill 5 behinds. So some wayward kicking by both sides. And
Huddle again.
This occasion, Cameron Carr will do the kicking out. Matty Lewis must have to go and change his boots. And a good kick to Casino, a long way up from half forward. Takes it inside defensive 50. Looking for some leads up the ground. Goes towards the centre. Lewis. Makes up some good ground there, Sean Lewis, and plays on quickly. Gets around Poulter. He's on centre wing. Kicks it wide towards Hurst and Walsh. Hurst in front. Can't keep it in. And it will be a boundary throw-in right in front of the commentary box. With the Magpies 3-8-26 and Belpost Hill 5 behinds. Naylor comes across with Dalziel over the back of the pack. Poulter gets a kick away quickly towards half forward. Stewie, Marnie and Naylor. They can raffle it. They both lose out. Lewis at Sean. Gets it at half back. Was nearly going to kick. Then got a call. Got support from brother Matthew. He goes wide. Gus take the mark. It's pretty wide. Nearly could have too if you had stuck the hand out.
Just be able to grab them a bit off.
It's going to be a free kick. Free kick to North Geelong. It's going to be Mark Walsh on centre wing to take it. Goes inboard towards Key. Dalziel against him. Gets a hand to it and then taps it on intelligently to Feldman. His hands were okay to Kazina, who can't break a couple of tackles. The ball falls loose towards Dalziel, then towards Feldman again. Was on hands and knees, then got up and then lost the footy. Still there with him at half forward, and there will be a ball up.
He's almost running on his knees there. The only bloke I've ever seen do that is Kevin Hannon from Peters. He's able to get to the ball quicker than I could when I was standing up running.
No, they got the tap down off the hands to Poulter. Left foot kick around the corner. Marnie pushes Lewis out of the contest. That was Sean. Got Matthew in support. Straight for the boundary line. Got a push though, did he? The umpire said it will be. Free kick to Matthew Lewis against Stewie Marnie. And at left half back, Matthew Lewis, who's seen plenty of the footy in his first term. will take the kick. Goes towards centre wing. Troy Feldman and Naylor up in front. Pay the mark. Kazina. And he will take it at centre wing. Handball to Pollard. He goes wide towards Feldman and also Carr. Carr takes it in the middle of Myers Reserve. Pretty open forward line now if they can push it quickly. He needs a lead. He gets one from Batty. Well, it's pretty wide though. It could nearly fall back towards Feldman. It does. It falls into his arms. He gets around a couple. Can handball to Batty, can he? But he went off him a little bit too far maybe. Got a high tackle. And we'll take the free kick. Just outside 50. Plays on quickly. Shocking handball. Straight into the man on the mark. Hanussen it is. Goes long towards half forward. Turnover could be costly if Walsh can run back onto it. Foot race with Habe. And Robertson there also, the big man. Can he pick it up? No, he can't. He gets a high tackle. Play on. No free kick. Walsh is there. Also Gibbs off the ground into the forward pocket. And out of bounce. We see Malcolm Key coming off.
Bell Post Hill, they crisscrossed across to this side of the ground, turned around and went straight back across to the other forward flank there. From back flank, one side of the ground to this side, and then pushed across to the forward flank the other side. Bit indirective there, I think.
As I said, Key off. Kane Harrington on the ground. Boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Geelong, attacking the northern end of Myers Reserve in this first term. Robertson in front, takes out the ruck again, turns around, and I think he might have missed once again. He has. So 3-9-27 North Geelong. Bell Post Hill 5 behinds. It's 22 points of difference.
Malcolm Key, was he injured, do you think, Jason, or he just seemed...
Well, I'm just having a look at him now.
Yeah.
I think he might be getting an ice pack. I don't know where they're going to be putting it. As Matthew Lewis gets the footy, I just see Keys on the boundary line. Trainer's holding an ice pack.
Yeah, he's just their most experienced bloke.
Yeah, and was playing okay.
And he was going all right.
Feldman had a couple of kicks on him, but...
Troy was running around a little bit there, but he does that with most blokes anyway.
Matthew Lewis to kick him once again. Comes towards half-back Hurst. Naylor, good mark. Strong. They need him to do that. Jimmy Naylor. Switches play towards centre half forward. Lewis can run onto it. Coming out. Carr at pace. Does well. Bumps him off the footy. Brad Martin does well. Handball over the top to Habe. Has to stand and wait for it. Short little kick. Might be all right. Needs some support in their free kick. And we'll relieve the pressure for Bell Post Hill, but it won't be needed because it is siren time for quarter time. And
a little bit lucky there. I noticed Habe's there. He actually turned to kick the ball back into the corridor, you know. No left foot and go to the boundary. Just could be a bit dangerous in them situations when the packs are around.
So at quarter time, it's North Geelong 3-9-27. Bell Post Hill 5 behinds. The goal kickers in that first term for North Geelong. Daryl Jones, Rory Nicol, and in fact Stuart Marnie. Yes, Stuart Marnie has the other one. So 3-9, 12 scoring shots to 5. So Gus, I would think that Bell Post Hill, if they could get a couple of quick goals, they wouldn't be too fussed about the first term. I mean, they didn't have the majority of play. North Geelong did, and I'm sure Tassie would be saying they probably missed a couple of opportunities where they could have kicked a couple of goals and made it a bit of a bigger margin.
Yeah, well, I just think probably Bell Post still went a bit short, but they also were kicking into the wind, so probably that was a suggestion of the coaches to kick short and just move the ball around to push forward. Whereas North Geelong went long, and yeah, I wouldn't be hitting the panic button yet if I was the coaches there, but I'd definitely change the game plan a little bit. I don't think the huddle worked from kicking out. And I noticed when they're pushing the ball up forward, when they actually did go long, they expected the ball to travel 60 metres into the wind. The guys that were calling the ball expected the ball to make the distance to them rather than lead towards the bloke kicking the ball. North Geelong, they pushed the ball along reasonably well, and as you said, they could have been a bit better score for them. They could have been 6 or 7 goals here at the quarter time, which would have put a bit more pressure on Bell Post Hill.
So North Geelong 3-9-27, they lead.